Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person to snap these awesome high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. Now, if you're looking to pre-order your very own copy of Yelena from Thunderbolts, I've popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. When you're pre-ordering Hot Toys figures from Pop, you can either pay the full amount right up front, then you don't have to worry about it, or leave a deposit and fix up the balance when the piece releases. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as brand new MCU content goes live on the channel. To be totally honest, I was getting a little bit nervous that we weren't going to see any Thunderbolts figures. I know they teased us with that little image that showed a couple of the team members. For some reason, John Walker wasn't there, but plans change, right? The box office for Thunderbolts isn't fantastic. The critics score, the audience score, yes, I love the movie, but if it's not successful, then that kind of tells Hot Toys that their pool of people wanting to buy Thunderbolts figures might not be as big, therefore they're not going to take a chance on it. I'm glad they decided to. They're starting with Yelena, arguably the main character of the movie. Will they continue the line and give us Red Guardian and Ghost and, fingers crossed, John Walker? Not super keen on Taskmaster, but I'd probably pick up the figure anyway. It remains to be seen. But for right now, this is a great start. I'm looking at my first Yelena figure as I'm recording this, and those hands, they look like brand new sculpts. We're getting pairs for most of them. That's a good thing. The speckling on the gloves looks great. There's wrinkling, there's a lot of texture. And the skin texture plus the painted fingernails with the cuticle details, no complaints there from me. When it comes to weapons, classic Black Widow / Yelena array. We've got her Glock. Please confirm in the comments if that is indeed a Glock. I am not a gun guy by any means. Then her Widow batons, not reuse, with the switch out attachment pieces, including the hook one. They call it a scythe in the pre-order announcement. I more see it as a hook. It's the attachment that John Walker uses when he grabs it off Yelena's back to rescue them all from the elevator shaft. Well, he'd say that he rescued them all, but you know what I'm trying to say if you've seen the movie. I'm likely going to display her, there you go, with the scythe attachment, just because of that scene in particular. Just before we get stuck into it, quick question for you all. Do you want the rest of the team? A new Bucky would be nice. Red Guardian, definitely. I would be all in, but I'm curious to hear what you all have to say. The display base with the yellow translucent edge, love that. And the weathering around the nameplate with yellow text instead of white. That's going to help this base pop amongst a sea of hexagon bases in your Marvel display, if you've got a bunch of Marvel figures, of course. Her boots look like they're a single piece sculpt, no articulation. But if you just saw the right boot, it's got a flex to it, and her toe is pointed up. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that these boots are probably soft PVC plastic. They've been doing that more and more recently. It allows for a seamless look, but plenty of articulation. And the PVC is thick enough, I've not had any issues, even with a max ankle tilt going on with my Daredevil. No creases, no damage, no signs of stress marks. Speaking of creases and damage, the first Yelena was wearing a nylon suit, so you could pose the shit out of her, no problem. But this suit, it looks screen printed. Not heavily enough for it to worry me. I don't think it's going to restrict her in terms of being able to get her in poses. It's more the leaving her in poses side of things, because what screen printing does, depending on your climate and the temperature in your collection room, that rubbery layer with the textured detail on the surface of the fabric, it tends to stick to itself. If that wrinkle on her left thigh there is left in place for 1, 2, 3 months, then you go and undo that pose and stretch the fabric out, you might find that the screen printed detail has stuck to itself. So every now and then, just be mindful of that when you're leaving Yelena in poses. Unless you simply don't care about it, then it's not going to bother you whatsoever. There's a little holster or a sheath of sorts on her belt for the combat knife, and on display at Secret Base, it's currently in her hand. It looks like there's a proper zipper down the front of her suit. The track is very large. It's hidden by a flap over the top, so it doesn't jump out at me right away as being overscaled. It shouldn't ruin the illusion of this looking realistic for figure photography. The buckles on her chest or collarbone armor, those are fake. They're part of the sculpt work. And there's some mini non-functional zippers on those top breast pockets. There's some ribbing down her arms. That looks like a rubbery material too. And her shoulder pads are attached to that chest armor potentially, with the elastic straps going under her armpits around the biceps. I don't believe they're doing any of the heavy lifting. I would have liked to have seen some blue painted Widow Bite bracelets, just because she uses the Widow Bite bracelets a lot in the movie. In fact, there's a scene that she is specifically mentioning she's got the, zip little Widow bracelet things. So painting those bits in blue and having swap out bracelets, like activated ones, wouldn't have cost them too much, and it would have added some extra value to this piece. Not that she really needs a bunch of extra value, because she already brings a lot to the table with the head sculpt, which we're about to get to. Another question for y'all. Did you know her suit was green? The color grading in the movie led me to believe that it was either black or a very dark grey. I did not see the green. I've watched the movie 3 times in the cinema. It might be time for me to go and watch it a 4th. Oh well, I will take any excuse I can get to watch this movie again, because I freaking love it. Let's talk about this head sculpt. It is perfect, in my opinion. That, right there, is Florence Pugh. It literally looks like a picture of her. The only thing that screams action figure about this, and not in like a way that ruins it, is the sculpted hair. Would I have loved to have seen a rooted hair art as an option? Yes. But the sculpted hair with the wispy strands and the way the hairline looks and the part down the middle, the shading, it's probably some of their best sculpted hair ever, so I don't want to take anything away from this head sculpt. Just some minor notes, some little changes they could make so easily. The roots need to be darker for the part, and the eye makeup, I reckon, should be slightly heavier. Everything else, that is a killer head sculpt. And she's got moving eyes. Being able to move the eyes around, you can adjust the expression simply by tilting the sculpt and having the eyes looking off to the side. She can be more pissed off, she can be more fierce, more badass. It's completely up to you how you want to adjust this, and then when you dial in the pose, you can make this figure your own. No Yelena is going to look the same as another person's Yelena in their collection. It's such a versatile head sculpt. The furrowed brow, the pursed lips, the slightly squinted look. So freaking chuffed with how this turned out. You might be sitting there thinking, Justin, come on, it's just a neutral expression head sculpt. How good could it be? Look at Ryan's pictures. The intensity to that stare, the way they've done the hair, the fact that it's got moving eyes, the eye makeup, the skin texture, how good the proportions are on the body. I'm not even speaking about the head sculpt now. As a package, I am so excited to get this. And I'm hoping that we at the very least get Red Guardian and John Walker. I'd also take a new Bucky, as I said earlier. You know what? Screw that. Give us the entire Team Hot Toys, please and thank you. Now, I'm going to pre-order my Yelena from Pop Collectibles. I've popped a link to their site in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. When you're pre-ordering from Pop, you can either pay the full amount right up front, or leave a deposit and fix up the balance when the figure releases. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.